ask him to pull off. I got gold digger money, gold digger money.
Yeah, I used to be live throwing racks. That's a bad.
That might be the new anthem every time we come on, man. I love that little, go get the money, go get the money.
Push it, push it, push it.
I want to thank everybody for joining us on the MoneyPot podcast. And you know who it is. It's your bro, your boy, Moss Money. And of course, I got my right-hand man with me, my coach, Headbanger,
Yo.
Steve-O.
What's good, Moss?
What's good, buddy?
Can't call it, man.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good, man. Looks like a good week this week.
Yeah, I can dig that, man. When you look good, you feel good, you make money.
Absolutely.
So we're going to get right into it. You got any financial advice for me this week, buddy?
Yeah, I'll let you go first, though. You go ahead first with yours.
All right, solid. So, this is a shout out to my sister-in-law, Wendy. She had hit me with some knowledge earlier today. She actually works in a bank. Shout out to Wendy in Roxborough.
Wendy Williams.
So, what did she say? Oh, yeah. So, she gave me a little tip about closing credit cards. So, we all know about credit cards, and we all know that credit cards are quote-unquote not good. So, what she told me was that's not true because a lot of young folks actually need credit cards to help build their credit. And a key thing to doing is not getting a credit card, go making a couple small purchases, maybe a hat, a game or something, pay it off and then close it. She said actually closing the credit card can actually damage your credit even more than actually helping your credit. So what you want to do is you want to only close your credit cards that actually have high interest rates. So you want to position yourself with positive credit. So obviously the older the credit, is actually better the credit because they look at risk. They don't look at, if you pay it off real quick. They want to know if you're a high credit card risk or a low credit card risk type person.
Okay.
So closing an old account will represent you as a higher risk in the kind of credit industry. So if you're young, it could hurt your credit. It could hold you, it would hold you against, say, like somebody 50 years old. They're going to go with the 50-year-old because he has a longer credit history. So here's a couple steps to closing a credit card. First step, know who to contact. Know your bank information. Know your service. I think it's CSR, customer service rep. And then you always want to redeem your rewards if you have them. Next, you want to obviously pay off your balance. And when I say pay off your balance, this doesn't mean the balance that you see on your bank statement, or your credit card bill statement, but you actually get insurance interest accrued during that. So you want to make sure that's completely paid off and there's no interest that's been accrued over that time. Next, you want to close the account, but also add to the account that you close it at your request, so that actually goes on your credit card report.
Okay.
Next, you also want to send a letter in as well, because you know how these CSRs be, man, on the phone, man. They'll mess up real quick. They'll just, click this, click that, and, they'll just send it off without even, actually putting in the note that it was closed at your request. So just to make sure you cover your butt and cover yourself, you go ahead and send a note or send a letter in. Make sure you get the rep's information, their tag ID or whatever, billing, note that they have. And then go ahead and send that letter in. Next, I think about a month or two, you want to go ahead and get a copy of your credit report so you know that what you asked has been completed correctly. And some of those websites you can go to is freecreditreport.com and annualcreditreport.com. So just a little financial tip for y'all from Moss Money, talking about how to make sure, you can help build your credit.
All right, so to piggyback off of Moss, my tip is pretty much for the holidays and a lot of people that's into online shopping.
Okay.
So right now I had looked up on the news. I was looking at the news earlier.
Right.
And they had a story about Amazon. And I know a lot of people shop on Amazon, especially during this time. It's easy to,
yes, sir,
purchase something on your phone while you're at work, just sitting at your desk. But if you, a frequent buyer on Amazon, just watch out. The thieves are sending bogus emails that look like they're from Amazon, telling buyers that their order cannot be shipped. Once you click,
Crazy.
right. Once you click the link to confirm your information, an authentic looking page with the Amazon logo asks you to enter your name, your address, and your credit card information. When you hit enter, the crooks receive your information and you are redirected to the real Amazon.com. So just watch out for it. And the tip that they gave is just to go into your Amazon site directly and sign into your orders to determine if your package has been shipped or if there was any discrepancies with your order. So I advise you guys to not click the Amazon email because they're retrieving your information and doing all types of things with it.
Word. Yo, that's a good tip, bro. Especially during the holidays, man. Everybody's shopping online, e-commerce. So.
And everybody work hard for their money, man.
Word.
Nobody want to be scared.
Word. I like that, Steve-O. And yeah, shout out to a couple people, give you a couple thumbs up on there. Shout out to John Poley, Jeff Mesa. Mesa. Sorry, Massa. Messed up your name, man. You know what I mean? I got my drink back, and I'm still slurring.
Yeah.
Little festive, a little eggnog and Jack, baby.
Good combo. Got the eggnog and the Henny.
Oh, yeah. I got that Henny. B Screws, what's up, boy? You know about that.
Screws.
So let's get right into the fantasy football playoffs. So this week is the first week of the playoffs.
Yep.
And, it's hard now to kind of tweak your rosters, or make any deals because all that's already passed and over with.
That's pretty much a done deal. So if you just got to rock out with the players that you have on your team.
Right.
Just try to figure out, the best matchups within your own team. Look at, who you're going against. Try to figure out and calculate, points. Seeing, let's say, for instance, we all know that one of the receivers from the Redskins is going to get off against the Eagles.
True.
We just don't know who it is. I mean,
True.
My pick would be maybe Crowder.
Okay.
Crowder or DJ.
Okay.
One of the two.
Right.
So for sure if you have, one of those guys on your team, it's a high percentage that they're going to have a pretty good game, catch a nice amount of balls or, maybe a touchdown. So
you're talking about analyzing matchups. Make sure you analyze your matchups now going into the playoffs.
Yeah, because it's no more with people on the waiver wire. You can't really trade. I mean, it depends on who you're playing with as well. So
right.
Some people might leave some guys out on the waiver wire, but I highly doubt it.
So what I was looking at, in my advice for the fantasy playoffs right now is this. If you don't have a high-end quarterback or defense or a tight end or even a kicker, that's all matchup based. Like, for example, the Jets stink. And it's the Jets and the Niners this week.
Right.
And Cap has shown over the last couple games, except for the last game where he got pulled.
Okay.
But right before that, 3 or 4 games, he was putting up numbers. He was running for 100 yards. He was throwing for 200-something yards. Like, as a fantasy player, he was putting up numbers. He was averaging like 27, 25. Yeah.
He was at 20.
Right. So, somebody like that for, this week, I don't know if you saw me on the my movement on our league. I was flip-flopping Derek Carr and Matt Stafford and Kaepernick throughout the whole day because I couldn't get a feel for it. And then I just finally got a feel for it, and I dropped Derek Carr, and it was a good call.
Yeah, he only had 5 points.
Yeah, he only had 5 points, so it was a good call. So with that being said, it's all matchup based, kind of honestly. So moving forward, even kickers, man, you need those points.
Yeah.
You need those points, especially if you're in a tight one. I mean, we got money on the line here. I'm in 5 leagues, 4 of them I got money on the line.
Right.
I need that. You know what I mean? We need that. We need to get this cash. That's what we're here for. This investment is not just doing it for fun. And I don't mean, take it, super seriously, but I mean, there's money on the line. How can you not? So, a couple of people, just a couple of things. Just want to give you guys a little heads up. Like the kicker from Tampa Bay, that should be a high-scoring game. So I would think the kicker from Tampa, will see a lot of action in that game.
Yeah.
Was it Lagares Green? I think it's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
The tight end. He's probably still sitting in a couple of leagues out there.
I'm sure.
I already said Kaepernick. So those are a couple of players that you can kind of key in on defense. Cincy's defense should be looked at as well against Cleveland.
Another defense to look out for this week. I got them, in the end of the show.
Yeah.
But the Jags defense against Minnesota. I mean, the Jags accumulated a lot of sacks.
It's a toilet bowl.
Yeah, it is. But that's a defense that might not be bad, as well as Chicago. I mean, the Lions versus Chicago.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I look at high-scoring games. I look at game flows to kind of get a gist of it. So, just listen to, some of the things that we're saying here and go ahead and, look at your waiver wire, look at your matchups, even look at your opponent's matchups and just see if you can dictate or follow the game flow where, you can make the right call to put yourself in the best position. Because, sooner or later, with fantasy football, there is a little bit of luck involved. Right. You need all your players to go at the right time. You need some of his players to flop, or you need a star to kind of not perform as if they would, what you would want them to. Perfect example again. There's probably a couple people that played Derek Carr.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a few.
Yeah, and he didn't perform. So you need that. So just a little snippet from the MoneyPot podcast about fantasy football playoffs. Matchups are so key, and looking at the waiver wire, studying your opponent, looking even at the next person opponent is clutch. Could get you a win there, buddy.
Hopefully it does, as long as you're not playing me, man.
Yeah, I think if I win next week, I see you.
Yeah, if you win next week, you see me.
Oh, if I win. Yeah. I'm gonna get that W, bro.
Yeah, hopefully, man.
Kelsey shine for me. I almost pulled him too, because Jordan Reed looked like he gonna play.
No, Jordan Reed's gonna be out.
Did they say he was out?
The last I saw, it says Vernon Davis is getting a start.
Okay, that don't mean Reed not gonna play.
True.
But I was a little up in the air, but I'm glad I played Kelsey because he got me damn near 20.
You gotta take that. You gotta love it.
Yes, sir. All right, so we're going to get in these Eagles. Is Timmy out there? So Timmy was coming at me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll give him a little shout out. So Timmy was coming at me. We had a little disagreement on the phone where, let me see, how can I say this? The issue was about T.O., and it was about the West Coast offense and Donovan. Okay. Because T.O. was on, I think, the radio. Freddie X was on the radio, so it was a lot of...
Yeah, Fred X was on there, but I don't want to hear anything from that guy.
No. We're not going to talk anything about that.
No, I'm just saying, I just couldn't even listen to him talk. It's like...
Right.
Dude, don't blame you being the first.
You know what? I'm going to shout out...
on you, Donovan, not liking you. I don't hear that, man. I don't hear that.
I'm gonna shout Timmy out while we on air that you're a mop for not coming online, because he was like, I'll be on there. Don't worry. Don't let me call in. I was thinking about letting him call in too.
And guess what? Timmy's always on, man. He might have had some business to handle. He's on every week.
Yeah. Anyway, so real quick, the issue was, or the problem that we were disagreeing is that he said that what T.O. and our offense showed what Andy Reid's West Coast offense could really do, and I disagreed. I disagreed because T.O. was such a talent, it didn't matter where he went. He was in San Fran, he was in Buffalo, he was in Cincy, he was in Dallas, he was here. He shined everywhere he went.
Okay.
And I just didn't disagree. I disagreed because Donovan had comparable numbers to the year that T.O. was here. And I got those numbers. So Donovan with T.O. threw for over 3,800 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 8 picks. Monster year.
Right.
2008, Deshaun's rookie year, he had 3,900 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 11 picks. So his touchdowns went down, dramatically. 8 touchdowns is a lot of touchdowns. So obviously, that's the TO factor because, TO, that's what TO does. He gets in the zone. But the numbers are somewhat comparable where I feel that TO didn't make this offense inflate. Now, it was more explosive with TO on the field, but we didn't get like TO didn't make this whole offense like this unbelievable offense where McNabb wasn't as productive.
I mean, to be honest, McNabb got them through the playoffs into the Super Bowl
without T.O. Exactly.
Now, I'm not going to say that Tim's wrong on his statement either, because I do think that with that number one receiver, it did show how far Andy Reid and his West Coast offense could go. But it also showed that Andy Reid was able to be at top of the league with just below average to average receivers before T.O. came as well. So his offense and his system does play a large part in him winning and Donovan McNabb numbers that year because T.O. was
a beast.
T.O.
Yeah. But I'm just saying it's T.O. We're talking about the third, if not the second greatest receiver ever to play the game. And I'm just saying his talent in this rare occasion, his talent overshadowed the scheme because you could put T.O. in any offense and he's going to ball.
You could.
And that's why and on that point alone, I disagreed with Tim because, and not even that, Donovan had comparable numbers. Did he have the touchdown numbers? No, but he had the yards and a lot of other a lot of other seasons as well. Not just this one. He had more yards in the season I talked about, but a lot of seasons he had like 3,400 yards.
Yeah, no, he definitely
over 20 touchdowns.
They threw the rock a whole lot.
Yeah.
So, Donovan was always putting up numbers.
Right.
His touchdowns, the interception ratio was always good.
I wish I had that snippet.
Number
5 will always that'd be right on time.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. Oh well. All right. So there's been a little bit of rumors and talks about D-Jack. Speaking of D-Jack in his rookie year, about D-Jack coming back. What you think about that, man?
I would have to give D-Jack for the low. In order for him to come back, I'm not throwing a boatload of money at Deshaun.
Word.
I'm giving him maybe
7 or 8.
7, 8.
Yeah.
If he don't want to take that, then I'm okay with that. I can move on because he's going to miss 3 to 5 games a season.
Yeah, so I put that down too. He's a little bit older now. He's not as old as he's not as young as he was before. And he has some injury concerns. So I think 7 or 8 million is fair, and I think if he was smart, he knows that his year. He knows that his sorry, my dog just snapped and just jumped in my.
All right, so he knows that.
Yeah. So he's got 7. His that joint just threw me off, boy.
Yeah, it did.
So there's mutual interest on both sides. 7 or 8 million.
I just don't think that that's all he's worth right now. He's not.
He's got injury. He's older.
This is a contract year. He's supposed to ball out,
right?
And he didn't do so.
And he was hurt. He was hurt.
So, as a GM anywhere, no one's going to throw that money into.
But
if I'm Deshaun Jackson as well, if I'm getting offers for 7 to 8 million from other teams, I'm not coming here.
Screw said, "Is that the feds that just jumped in?" Because I guess he saw me like, "Oh, what was that?" So, while we get that cleared off, shout out to Screws for saying that. Nah, man, just real quick, because we always going to keep it real on the show, and I'm doing this out of my home, so. My dog was let loose, and my dog just jumped through the door and just popped up and just attacked Steve. So, no, it wasn't the feds, B-Dot, but good luck, bro. So, like I was saying, man, with Deshaun Jackson, it would work out if he came back, because obviously he did have some success here. Obviously, he likes the area. He likes it here. But, like I said, there are some concerns with his injury history. He is getting up in age. If he was smart, he would take, a $7-8 million deal. Receivers only last so long. So I like that $7-8 million. But as my man Steve-O gets back in the chair and gets back on the mic, I got a question for you here, bro.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a question about receivers. I looked up the 2017 free agents coming up. So tell me who you taking, Alshon Jeffrey or D-Jack?
It's not even a question.
Okay.
Alshon Jeffrey. He's going to cost more.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to cost a lot more, but...
I don't know, man. He comes with baggage, too.
He's going to cost a lot more.
And he's going to cost more.
Absolutely.
So, Doug Baldwin or D-Jack?
Doug Baldwin.
I forget, is it Canal Aiken?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Baltimore.
Aiken.
Yeah.
Or D-Jack. Aiken is younger.
Right.
He's younger, and he hasn't peaked yet.
Okay.
Deshaun has passed his peak.
You think he's past his prime?
Absolutely. He's past his prime.
Okay.
But he can still do what Deshaun Jackson can do. I'm not saying that he can't, but he's past his prime.
Okay.
That's a coin toss. I don't know. It depends on how much Aiken's won as well.
Right.
So
right.
if he's in the same range, I may go with him, or it depends on what the team needs at the time as well.
Right, right.
So that one is pretty much neutral. You can go either way.
Okay. I'm taking D-Jack on that one. Here's an interesting one. Kenny Britt.
Or D-Jack? Mm-hmm. I might take Britt.
I'm taking Britt too.
Yeah.
He's got some talent.
He does.
I was gonna say Pryor out there, but I know Pryor's getting re-signed with Cleveland. Yeah, they're already talking about contract, and so was Baldwin. Baldwin won't be out there.
Yeah, Baldwin's going.
Here's another interesting one.
But if I had the chance, just throw it out there between Terrell Pryor and D-Jack, I'm going Terrell Pryor.
Oh yeah. No, definitely.
And it's crazy because this is only his second season as a receiver.
I think so.
Yeah,
his first full season.
His first full season
starting.
Right.
Yeah.
So
with no quarterback whatsoever,
and he has tremendous upside.
Crazy upside.
So I'm taking Terrell.
And coachable, I think. Very coachable. From what it seems like. From what it seems like.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one. Michael Floyd, Arizona.
I'm going Floyd.
I think I'm going D-Jack. I don't think Floyd's really shown me anything to make me pick him over D-Jack.
But see, they both... He fell off, though, a little.
But he's never put up D-Jack numbers.
No, he because he had Fitzgerald as well on his side.
Yeah, but D-Jack's played with other high-end... Not Larry high-end, but high-end.
All right, okay. We're going to leave it at that, then.
Okay.
He didn't play with Larry or John Brown high-end.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, so Malcolm Floyd... He's a little iffy as well. It all depends on numbers with them too.
Right.
It all comes down to contract and money, how long I can get you. I like Deshaun Jackson to a certain extent.
I agree.
I just don't think that he's reliable because he's always hurt.
Here's another one. Patterson from the Vikings.
Or DJ?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going DJ.
Robert Woods from Buffalo. He's actually younger. He's 6 years younger than D-Jack. I didn't know that. He's 24.
I didn't know he was that young either. USC product. We got one on our team, so I don't want him. No.
We got one on our team, so we don't want him.
Yeah,
I hear that.
I'll go with D-Jack over him.
So, so that was a little fun round of wide receivers. I think Kenny Britt is the most interesting one out of them all because I think Kenny Britt has wide receiver one upside. He's got some talent.
Okay.
He just hasn't had a good quarterback to play with, I don't think. But he's been progressing from when he was in Tennessee.
Yeah, he was in Tennessee.
And then he went, and now he's in St. Louis and quote unquote the man. I'm sorry, you're right, the Rams. And He's never had any talent around him. He's never been in a talented offense, I don't think.
Yeah, he's the type of player that'll go to like New England and shine.
Oh yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, he's not going to get the money if he go there, but he'll be good in a system like that.
Right.
Yeah, Kenny Britt is pretty interesting. Also, I mean, Alshon Jeffries is the big name on the free agent list.
Right.
But he brings you the most talent. Mm-hmm. He's the most talented out of all of them.
Word. So we look like we're getting both Matthew bros back. Jordan and Ryan are playing back to the offense. I'm not sure how much I trust Ryan Matthews with that bum knee, but we'll see.
I'll take him over the production we've been getting the last 2 weeks out of the running backs.
Where if they run him though, that's the thing.
Which haven't been much. I mean, Smallwood has just been playing okay.
Right.
Sparrows, you know how I feel about Sparrows. I like Sparrows as, out of the backfield, maybe slot guy. I'm not too fond of Sparrows as a running back.
You already know what I'm going to say, right?
I'm listening.
You already know.
Go.
So, I've been killing in basketball. Well, not killing, but I've been doing okay this week. I've been 2 for 2. Took a heartbreaker last week with Golden State. I had Golden State by 8. And pretty much, I found out what Durant got a technical at like 9 seconds left. And what happened was the coach, who they were playing last night? Who was Golden State playing?
I can't think of it.
Yeah, I can't think of it. I forget.
I'll tell you in 1 second.
I forget. So he got a technical because they were laughing because they kept calling timeouts because they were up 10 with 10 seconds left, and the coach is still calling timeouts to run plays.
Oh, the other team?
Yeah, and no, the other team. And Draymond Green and Durant were like laughing, and that's how they got a technical. Okay. And the technical killed me. They make a 3. Curry gets fouled. 2 shots. And then they foul the other guy. He misses a shot, makes a shot, and they win by 7.
They play Utah.
So I was crushed because that killed me.
All right.
And then I bet this week into tonight, and I won easily with the Hornets, but I bet against the second worst team in the league in Dallas. And they have 4 wins, and they're winning like 15 right now.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
I'm gonna just keep drinking this drink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I should have went on the Clippers. I don't know why I didn't go on the Clippers.
I just stayed with Cleveland and
yeah, just stay with the winners.
Cleveland and the Hornets.
Yeah, and let it ride.
Yeah.
Back to these Eagles. So hopefully the formula is running the ball with Matthews. They said Jordan Matthews looks sharp in practice, from what I heard, and Washington can't cover the slot. So, and then what's up with Wentz, man? Like it's just they're putting him in bad positions.
They're saying his mechanics are bad.
Yeah, they're saying his mechanics. But
a lot of teams are picking up on his mechanics.
But he's thrown 45 times against Seattle, 36 times against Green Bay, and 60 against Cincy.
Well, they were playing catch up.
Yeah, but 60.
They played catch up,
bro. 60.
They were down. What were they down? 14.
What was the last? You ever see Donovan McNabb throw 60 times in a game? In his career?
Not that I can remember now.
Like, this is his rookie year.
But you think about it, they didn't have any kind of running back support.
But he only ran the ball 8 times.
They were down from the jump.
I understand that, but
so you gotta play catch up.
But what's the formula? The formula has always been to run the ball and do some play action pass or some play action.
Right. And that was the thing. They couldn't do any play action because they were running the ball. So to me, it's more coaching. They gotta put him in better positions. He's kind of regressed to me, to be honest.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, what's his numbers? What I got here? He's got only 3 touchdowns and 6 picks in the last 3 games, and he's been sacked 7 times over those games, which I guess isn't that bad.
Yeah, the sack numbers aren't too bad.
You know, but he's a rookie quarterback doing rookie quarterback things.
Right.
So you just brought up coaching, so we're going to play a little role play here. man, I need to get my soundboard right. I need more sound effects when I do some of this stuff. I need some like little jingle in the back when I say something like that. So I'm gonna be Schwartz as a D coordinator, and you're gonna be Dougie P as the head coach, because these guys have been put on the pedestal and asked a couple of tough questions. So, and they responded in kind. So the question that was asked in a press conference for Doug Peterson was about his team's effort. And he came out and said, I'm going to assume he was talking about the last game, that he didn't see any effort from his team. And he felt like his team didn't perform with, the enthusiasm that he's used to. He said the coaches do the work, the scheme is in. He feels like his scheme is well enough. As long as the players execute the scheme, things should hopefully turn out.
That sounds like the same exact thing that Chip Kelly said. His last 2
Right.
years.
So you're Doug Peterson. Defend that statement. You're in a press conference, and I'm the reporter, and the reporter says, Doug, these comments that you made last week was your team doesn't give enough effort. Can you elaborate on what you're trying to say?
Okay.
he sounds like he would get up there and say, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm used to my players giving 110% in practice. I see what they can do. I see how the execution is in practice, the enthusiasm, and just in the game, we didn't come out with that same enthusiasm that I see day in and day out. And I know that my players can give a better effort than what has been shown on the field.
Right. Okay.
And I dropped the mic.
I dropped the mic.
I dropped the mic after that. That's my defense, because, I mean, as a coach, you have faith in your players. So
right.
you know what they can do. And you seeing them do that, you just know, like, this isn't him.
Right,
This isn't the guys that I see every day. I know this guy can beat him across from him.
Right.
And he's not. So there's something going wrong.
Right.
I know Fletcher Cox can beat their center. I know that Jason Peters can maul over whoever's across from him. So
Word.
in his eyes, that's probably what he said. So I personally think that should have been addressed to his players, not to the media. But
True.
it is what it is. It's done and over with. But that will be my defense if I'm done.
Solid. Not too bad. So I'm gonna play the role. I'm gonna play the role as Jimmy Schwartz.
Okay.
So it was come out in another press conference that Schwartz, similar to Chip Kelly, similar to the later part of Andy Reid's career, similar to Jim Washburn, that he's too stubborn to change his scheme or change his philosophy if it hasn't been working over the last couple games. So my response to something like that is, my defense is built on the front four getting pressure. I blitz in situations. I don't blitz just to blitz. We have athletic linebackers. We have athletic linebackers, and they can cover as well. And we have, we've been hurt by injury and death in the secondary, but we still have some ballers back there who can play and who can cover. The last 6 games, we've only got 6 sacks. And when you blitz and you're not getting pressure, you do leave your secondary out there, which could be exposed. And leaving our secondary to cover some of the receivers that we face in our division, D-Jack, Bryant, OBJ, 4 seconds is, to have them hold up for, if we don't get pressure, if we don't get home in that blitz for 4 seconds, it could get ugly. So it's just too long to cover anybody in the NFL, period. Receivers are too big and too fast. It's a disadvantage to the guys that ask them to put themselves in that position. And not even that, we're in week 14. Or even a couple games ago, week 10. I'm not going to make a big change right now, to my philosophy. I'm going to have these guys try to put themselves and try to teach them something new, week 10. And think that's going to work? Come on, fellas. I do this for a living. I get paid to do this. You get paid to ask me questions. So right now we are in a slump, but we have to trust each other. We have to trust the scheme. The same guys you calling for change are the same guys who shut down two of the best offenses in this league, Pittsburgh and Atlanta. So I'm not changing nothing.
Okay.
We're gonna show up on Sunday, point blank.
Yeah. I mean,
Next.
There's some points in there that I disagree with. I'm gonna let you ride.
Let me live, huh?
Because you just.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah, they put it all in the secondary, so they can't cover for 4 seconds. They just stink.
Word.
They can't cover for 2 seconds.
They can't.
Yeah.
All right, let's get in these games, boy. Don't even tell me to score the game. I know the game's over with.
I'm not even looking at it.
Solid. All right. First game. I'm feeling
Here comes the money.
right out the gate, boy.
Here comes the money.
First one. Give me that money, boy.
Dollar.
Denver, Tennessee.
I like Denver.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure if Simeon is going to play or not. I know they said he's trending in that way.
Okay.
But and Mariota's had a hell of a year. He's had a hell of a year, and so has Murray.
His last 8 games, he's scored 2 or more touchdowns.
Right.
He had multiple touchdowns.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just like that secondary against, they're a running team. And if you can, stop the run and make them pass you, they're playing.
Which they can.
Yeah, they're playing into Denver's favor.
Right.
So, and Denver's getting points too.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, I mean, the line is screaming Denver, and it could easily be a trap game. But I'm going with defense.
I'm going defense as well.
So give me Denver. Next game, Carolina and San Diego.
I'm going Carolina -1.5.
I like that pick.
Yeah,
I went Carolina too.
Yeah, I like Carolina.
Luke Kuechly's look like he's playing this game.
Okay.
And I think that's a huge boost for that defense and just for that team in general, for him to be on the field running around.
Right.
He's going to be yelling. He's going to be hyped. He's going to be excited. And I think they're going to feed off that energy. And I think Ted Ginn is a little sleeper in this game too. So watch out for Ted Ginn. Olsen's been quiet as well, so I think he might score as well. And I think Carolina gets it done at home. I like them at home.
See, I like the pick. I mean, but Carolina's there. They're just too unpredictable. But I think they can beat San Diego.
Yeah, I think they get the win in this game. Next game. This is a big game right here. Houston and Indy. Huge game.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that.
Three-way. It's a three-way tie for first place in that division.
That, as well as Houston has what they lost with 3 in a row.
Yeah, I think so.
They've lost 3.
They're due for one.
They're due for one, but I just don't know. I kind of want to go with Indianapolis.
Right.
They won 3 of their last 4 games.
Yeah, they look like they're getting hot.
Right.
Yeah.
And, Luck back. They're just starting to play along. So I'm going to take...
You took the Colts?
I'm going to take the Colts in this game.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that pick. I actually went the other way. I took the points.
Didn't get right because
It's 6.5. And I just think it's such a big game. I think it's just going to be closer than what people think.
Right.
I mean, I know Osweiler's been terrible. And I think that, Indy can obviously score points in bunches.
Right.
And obviously, I think a lot of people are going to bet Indy because they just destroyed the Jets. And, Luck looked good with 4 touchdowns. I mean, I don't think what's his name? Dennis Allen? Was it Dennis Allen? I forget his first name. Dwayne Allen.
Right.
Dwayne Allen's not going to catch 3 touchdowns again in this game. So I think Indy scores, but I think Houston.
The Houston defense is bad.
Yeah, no, it is, but I think Houston's going to give everything they got in this game because they know everybody. There's a good chance that Tennessee loses, so that drops them out. So this is the game for the division right now. It's a must-win game for both teams.
I mean, if you can buy Indianapolis down, then do so. I like Indianapolis as a win, but the cover was a touchdown. I'm gonna rock with Indianapolis. Goals.
Solid. Next game.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here we go.
Here comes the money.
Cincy, Cleveland.
I'm gonna have this as my lock as well. Give me Cincy
Word.
-5.5.
Yo, they had me at RG3.
Yeah.
As soon as they said they're going to start RG3, I was like, give me Cincy.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be kidding me. He hasn't played since week 1. And think that he's missed 12 weeks and just going to come in and just win.
After missing 2 years.
Yeah, come on. Next game. This is a tough one. Pittsburgh and Buffalo.
It's not tough for me. I'm going Pittsburgh all the way.
Pittsburgh all the way?
Yeah, give me Pittsburgh -3. I just think that Pittsburgh is big.
Buffalo's must win right now.
Yeah, but I just don't see them beating Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh.
And Taylor's motivated because they say he don't deserve his money, and he's a mop.
Okay. I mean, he don't really have the arsenal of receivers that he should neither. Sammy Watkins is playing, but he's not at 100%.
No, he's not. And I think Robert Woods is playing this game too.
Okay, that's cool.
So
I don't count Percy Harvin as anything.
He's done.
Yeah.
His career's done.
Yeah,
Again.
I don't count him.
His career's been done like 4 times over.
Yeah. So I'm taking Pittsburgh. Give me Big Ben and AB.
Yeah, I can dig that. I think it's supposed to snow in this game. So
they're both cold teams. So
they're both cold teams, and we've
teams.
seen what McCoy's done in any type of snow as well.
Right.
So I actually think Shady does get loose a little bit in this game. I actually think this is a high-scoring game. I don't think it's a defensive battle. I think they're going to go blow for blow, and I actually do think Pittsburgh is going to win eventually, but I went to over. I think it's a high-scoring game.
Okay, not a bad pick.
Next game, another kind of funny game. Arizona and Miami.
I'm gonna go with Arizona.
I hate that you bet Arizona. I hate Arizona.
I don't really. See, this is a hard one, man. This is a hard one.
It is.
I really like Miami, honestly, just as a team. I like the way that the direction that their team is going.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go with Miami actually,
Word.
because Miami, it's all gonna be on Tannehill though.
No, they got a Jai.
They do, but it's gonna rely on Tannehill in this game. I think a lot.
And don't forget about, was it Landry? Yeah, don't forget about Landry.
But Tannehill has to get him the ball.
He can get him the ball.
I
I went Miami. Arizona's West team traveling east. Arizona's replacing, I think, 2 starting offensive linemen. Dolphins are 5-1 at home, and I hate Arizona. They burnt me too much this week. This year.
I know how you feel about them.
Yeah, so give me Miami.
Okay.
Next game.
The money.
Here we go. Money talk.
More money to get this week, bro. So, Chicago and Detroit.
Detroit all day.
Exactly. That's why I locked it in.
You can lock me in for that one as well.
Gotta love Detroit against Mac Bartley. And Chicago hasn't won a road game all year. I just don't think they have enough. And I forget his first name, but the linebacker's actually playing this week for Detroit, who's a beast. Levy.
Yeah.
He's
Levy.
Yeah, he's playing. He's playing this week. I think it's huge.
I mean, their defense the last couple of weeks have turned it up.
Yeah, and when you look at the matchup between the two, who on
It's no match.
who on Chicago do you like?
Nobody.
You like nobody.
But the running back Howard.
I don't. But their defense has been playing well.
Yeah.
Detroit's run defense is
If you have to pick, then I like Howard.
right.
That's it.
Yeah, give me Detroit, man.
Yeah, all day.
Next game, and this is a game we were talking about a little bit earlier. Minnesota and the Jags.
Yeah, Minnesota and the Jags. I'm going to take Minnesota. I like Minnesota -3. I also wish Minnesota would lose though, so we can
Get that good pick.
But I think Minnesota can beat the Jags. The Jags defense is a little tough, so just watch out for their defense. They might be a good team to pick on fantasy, but because they accumulate a lot of sacks, and Minnesota offensive line struggles a lot.
Right.
So that's going to be the X factor, how much pressure they can put on Sam Bradford. If they can terrorize him all day, then they have a strong chance of winning. But I think Minnesota comes away with this game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. That's what I thought. The Jags can't throw and run the ball, and neither can Minnesota. And the under is low from I've ever seen it. It's under 40. It's 39.5.
So they if they under 40, that's cool.
I'll take it. Give me the under.
Okay.
They suck. Next game. Eagles. Word. Is the bird.
Washington. That's my pick.
Yeah.
Give me Washington -2.5. I just don't see our team. I predicted them at 6 wins top.
Word.
It looks like it's going to happen.
Yeah, they'll probably sneak one of these games.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Out of the 4. Washington, Baltimore, New York, or Dallas. One of these 4 they'll sneak in.
Yeah, they might. Who knows? So at the rate they're going, I have no idea.
Let me ask you this. Would you be surprised if the Eagles won this game?
I would, because they haven't beaten Washington in God knows how long. Like 3 seasons almost.
Solid. I guess my me not pronouncing something came rubbing off on you, huh? Seagans.
I thought I said seasons, but maybe I didn't. But yeah, in 3 seasons they haven't beaten Washington.
Yeah, I went Washington too. I just wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles won. It really wouldn't. I mean, they lost 3 or 4 in a row.
It would surprise me.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know what the Matthew Bros are gonna do. I don't know what Wentz is gonna do. I'll be at the game, so I'll see firsthand.
Okay.
Washington's going to score. So, but I just wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles somehow showed up. They played well at home, so we'll see how that goes. Next game. Another stinker.
Okie dokie.
The Jets
The 49ers game.
and San Fran.
I don't know, man.
Really?
I'm going. I'll let you go first, man.
All right, thank you. Yeah, toilet bowl alert. I looked at it like this, man. It's one of my golden rules. Each team traveling west can't like that. That's never good. They're starting a rookie.
I don't agree with that rule, though. That rule,
Really?
Statistically, it doesn't really.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Statistically, it's spot on.
No, it's not because they all go back and forth. It's not.
It's not back and forth, bro. Each teams going west are statistically trash. They're like 10 and like 40.
We're gonna have to pull up those stats next time because to me they just that's no excuse for nothing to lose because you're going west.
It's
you
just
go out there and you ball.
It's just a stat, bro. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have those stats for you next. But I just think that they both stink. I'm flipping a penny. I'm flipping
I'm flipping a penny.
A penny.
They don't even get a quarter.
They don't even get the quarter. I'm flipping a penny, and you see what it lands on. And it's crazy because you have the 49ers are favored by 2.5. So they minus 2.5. They're home. I don't know if the Jets are that bad.
Dude, you serious?
Yeah, the 49ers.
You trust? Was it Bruce Petty or whatever?
Bruce Petty.
Yeah, you trust that?
Ryan Fitzpatrick stunk.
You think he's better than Fitz?
I don't know, man. I'll give him a chance.
Nah. Give me San Fran.
Okay. What's the under, man? I don't want to pick.
What's something in this thing?
I don't even want to pick a team. What is it, 43? They got to score 40. I'll take the under.
Take the under?
Give me the under.
Solid. Next game. Here's a good game. It'll be interesting what you go with. Seattle and Green Bay.
Seattle. In Lambeau. Give me Seattle. No Earl Thomas. Give me Seattle.
I can dig it, bro. I didn't go that way. I went Green Bay. Okay. I think the loss of Earl Thomas is going to be a huge impact. I think Green Bay and Rodgers are smart enough to attack the middle of the field, take a couple shots deep.
Okay.
And I don't see the Rawls running on Green Bay and Green Bay.
I do. Green Bay defense against the run is bad.
What are you talking about? They're actually.
Just carry. But you got
their defense is trash, but their run defense is okay. It's better. It's above average. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's on Russell this game to win, and I like Rodgers at home with points.
I mean, you got to look at it too. Seattle hasn't won in Green Bay since 1999. That's crazy. They haven't won in Green Bay since 1999.
It's hard to win in Lambeau.
I'm taking Seattle.
Solid. Next game. Here's another interesting game. Atlanta and the Rams.
Atlanta -6, so they got to win by 7. Give me Atlanta.
Yeah, I took Atlanta too. I think a lot of people are calling this for an upset here. Atlanta's defense is obviously shaky. You know, a lot of people calling for Gurley to get off here because Atlanta's run defense is trash.
Gurley hasn't gotten off all year. He got 600.
You know what's funny?
9 yards and 4 touchdowns.
And you know what's funny about that? If he gets 80 yards every game, he'll still get 1,000 yards. I think that I read that stat that if he averages 81 yards the next 4 games, he'll get 1,000 yards.
Yeah, because he had 679. Yeah.
And it's just funny because he's been so terrible, and he somehow manages to get almost a rack. Crazy.
Yeah.
But the secondary's banged up, and Goff has shown that he can play against bad defenses. That New Orleans game. Julio is battling some turf toe.
Yeah.
But I think the key people are missing is Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback this year.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
he's a good quarterback, period.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback, and I'm taking Matt Ryan over Jared Goff.
I agree.
So give me Atlanta. Next game. Oh, my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. But money's on the line. This is for you, Pop Pop.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Dallas and the Giants.
Dallas and the Giants. In New York.
Give me Dallas.
Give you Dallas.
Give me Dallas. I'm putting money on Dallas.
Give me New York. +3.5.
I'm putting money on Dallas. I don't know. A lot of people are betting New York. This team is completely different from week 1, first of all.
Both teams are completely different from week one.
Yeah, but Dallas is completely different from week one. I mean,
The Giants' defense is a lot better.
I'm not giving Dallas credit. I'm just calling a spade, calling it what it is. Dallas is the best team in the Eastern Conference. Point blank.
They are.
They are.
They're the best team in the NFC right now.
I'm sorry, the NFC. That's the Eastern Conference,
Yeah.
like it's basketball. You know why? I'm thinking about that game that I
Yeah.
probably just lost.
Yeah, but I mean, they got the best record in the league, period.
Yo, man, respect these. I'm gonna respect the star. Come on, respect these.
Come on, Pop.
Respect that. You see that? You see that? Respect that, buddy. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, so I like
A
Giants.
lot of people are. See, the thing is, the problem is, a lot of people are calling the Giants, but I think you know.
It's not even because they beat them the first game. I'm not even going off of that. I just go off of their matchups, period. They always go down to the wire. They always battling.
But what about JPP being out, man? That's huge,
It's huge. It is huge.
and especially against that offensive line.
No, it's a huge deal.
Right, he's going to be
Yeah.
clean.
They're just gonna have to weather the storm. I mean,
That's a hard storm to weather, man. That's a juggernaut coming at you.
Yeah, but it's one guy who means a lot. But they still have another guy on the other end, Werner.
Yeah, but they can neutralize him with a tight end.
You can't neutralize him with a tight end.
Why not? You have a tight end, and you have.
You don't need to. Dallas don't play like that.
I understand that, but they could.
They're not going to. They're going to do their 5.
I like that matchup.
Yeah.
If he's against going to Tyron Smith,
Right.
I'm taking Tyron Smith over Werner all day.
I also like Spagnolia as a coordinator. Spagnolia does a lot of exotic blitzes. He hides his.
Yeah, but Dallas don't. That don't phase. I don't think that phased Dallas, man.
You can't say that it don't phase him because it phased him the last couple years. He's been over there.
Yeah, but this
With
the last couple. First of all, last year Romo wasn't even playing, so they had.
But I'm talking about.
And they had no running back.
Line as well. No, they didn't.
You know what I'm saying? They're a completely different team, and I think with no JPP, man, that hurts New York's defense tremendously. And I think OBJ does get off though. I think he gets his like he normally does.
A lot. It's gonna go on Eli. A lot is on Eli. To be honest, I don't even think that.
Yeah, and they're one dimensional. They can't run the ball.
I don't think that JPP means as much as Eli playing well.
Of course, of course not.
Eli has to really ball because he missed a lot of players that was open last week.
Right.
I seen some of the balls he was throwing. He was just out of sync, big time, and the receivers were open.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, bro. I just don't think the Giants have enough balance on that team.
I do. I think their defense is good enough to.
No.
Are
Are you kidding me? Yo, Dallas is just mowed through everybody, and you think the Giants have the best? That they're going to face the Giants is the best defense that this offense is going to face.
Even though it was the first game, the Giants was the only one to hold Ezekiel Elliott to 51 yards.
Yeah, that was game 1.
Okay.
Week 1.
I mean, he's gotten better.
He's gotten better. He's the best running back in the league.
They're going to be up for this game. They're going to be able to. I don't know. I like the Giants plus 3.5.
Yeah, a lot of people.
They might not win the game.
A lot of people
I like
do.
them.
A lot of
I can
people
see
like the
being
Giants.
It can be a field goal. They can win by a field goal.
I don't think so.
So,
I think easily a touchdown win
cool.
by Dallas. You know what? And I'm just remember I forgot a game. Tampa and New Orleans.
And you didn't do the Patriots game either.
Well, that's the Monday night game, so that's the last game.
Yeah. I like Tampa in that game.
A lot of people like Tampa.
Tampa minus 2.5. I'll take Tampa.
Yeah, I you know what the problem is?
In Tampa.
I understand it's in Tampa, but you know what the problem is? Drew Brees was terrible last game. He doesn't have back-to-back bad games, I don't think.
He does when he's playing outside.
I don't see it. He didn't throw a touchdown. He had it was like some.
And it's a division game. Like they play each other tough all the time.
Yeah, it was some weird stat that he didn't do something since like 6 years.
Yeah, but it's not Drew. You got to give credit to that defense as well. The Lions defense played great.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, he could have also had a fluke game too. I mean, Drew Brees. What do you mean, no, bro?
It's not a fluke game. They defense.
He throws, he
they're-
averages.
But that's what I've been telling you. So it's not like New Orleans is good. New Orleans is not a good team. They're not a good team at all.
They're an okay team.
They're
not a bad team.
They're not a good team at all. Their defense is.
What is their
always-
record? 5-6.
Their defense is always horrible for the last 4 or 5 years. It's not like they're a good team that it was just like, oh, it's a fluke game. No, Detroit came in, they played, and they kicked their ass, point blank.
Yeah, I don't know, buddy.
Yeah, New Orleans isn't that good, man. It's Drew Brees. I mean, he's almost 40, dog.
Bro, but when
They're
you
5-7. They're not a good team.
bro, when you average,
They're not a good team.
I hate you, Dallas.
We all do, man.
I hate you, Dallas.
Tampa's a better team. I'll take Tampa.
Dallas gets win 5 today.
Oh.
Terrible. All right, last game. Baltimore and the Pats.
And this is what is it?
It's in New England.
In New England, and they were favored by 7.
7. Yeah, which is a lot.
I like Baltimore.
Yeah, everybody's going Baltimore.
Although the Patriots are 7-1 all the time against them in the regular season.
Yeah, and you know what it is? It's just the facade that this giant is hurt that we call New England. No Gronk. Brady's hurt. You know,
Bennett's hurt.
Yeah, Flacco's speaking up saying that, we're not intimidated by, Tom Brady and New England Patriots. New England really doesn't have a pass rush. But I think they're provoking just the wrong team. I mean, let's not forget Belichick is probably, if not the best coach in history. Okay. And he'll scheme. He's won games without Brady, without Gronk.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna go against the grain. I'm taking New England -7.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going Baltimore -7. Baltimore may not win. I don't see the Patriots just running with their weapons. They don't have Gronk. Bennett's banged up. I'm not sure how he's going to be playing.
Right.
They're not going to be able to run the ball as well because the Ravens got the best run defense in the league.
No, I'm not an undercover fan. Pop, never been. I'm not even gonna look at the screen with that.
I'm going Baltimore. I think Baltimore has a great chance to win this game, honestly. This is a game that they can win.
They can.
But it's going to be tough.
I'm sticking with my boy, man.
So
Tom Terrific.
That's good. God bless you.
All right, let's get to these fantasy picks, bro, before we wrap up the show here. Who you got for me, buddy?
Quarterbacks, I'm going Phillip Rivers, Jameis Winston. Running backs, I like Matt Forte.
Good pick.
Theo Riddick and Melvin Gordon.
Okay.
Wide receivers.
You like Carolina, but you're going all San Diego in your fantasy.
Well, because Carolina defense is bad.
Okay.
So I like anybody against their defense. Their run defense has really been in the basement this year.
Okay.
You can throw all over the corners. Wide receivers, I like T.Y. Hilton, Crowder, Antonio Brown, and Taylor Gabriel.
Good pick. Sleeper.
Yeah. Tight ends, I'm going to go Vernon Davis. If
Reed's not playing.
If Reed gets a scratch, I like Davis. Eric Ebron. And Zach Ertz. I like Zach Ertz.
I had Zach Ertz.
And defense, I like the Lions and the Jags.
Solid. I went Dalton.
Hold on, I'm sorry. And quarterback, too. I meant to play Matthew Stafford as well.
So I went Dalton. I went Stafford.
Okay.
And I went Cat as a sleeper. Running backs, I went Shady, Ezekiel Elliott, and I think there's something behind that Gurley talk. I think Gurley might sneak in a couple touchdowns. He might not have like crazy yards, but I think he might get 1 or 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. But it's funny when you said Ezekiel Elliott. I don't even name Ezekiel Elliott because he's just always up there. So there's no point in me just wasting my time. Because he's just.
He's not. Yeah, but I think the stars shine this week. Like receivers, I went with big 3.
Okay.
I went OBJ, AB, and Des Bryant.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be searching. I'm not gonna make it too hard. I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm just gonna tell you like these dudes are on the ball.
Right.
Tight ends. I got what's the dude's name from Houston? What's it?
Federowitz.
Is that how you say it?
FIED, whatever.
I forget how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't like him in that game, honestly.
Nah?
No.
Ertz. And I wrote somebody down, but I don't know what I wrote down. Oh, Jimmy Grant.
Okay.
And then D, I went Cincy, Atlanta, and Carolina.
Two bad defenses. But
They're playing bad teams. Well, Carolina's a sleeper. I think with Luke Kuechly coming back, that's huge for that defense.
I see Phillip Rivers just tossing that rock.
Yeah, he probably will.
Yeah.
But with those 2 linebackers backs, flying around.
They played bad all year, but cool.
You know what I mean?
No, that's a good sleeper pick though.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's a sleeper.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, that's the show, y'all. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night.
Peace.